All right, let's talk about Max Verstappen. His journey to the top of the racing world. I mean, it's one of the most meteoric, audacious, and just record-shattering stories out there. This is a guy who didn't just knock on the door of Formula One. He literally blew it clean off its hinges.
So to really get a handle on just how big a deal this is, let me ask you a question. Just think for a second about Formula One. It's got to be one of the most elite, dangerous, and technically demanding sports on the planet, right? So how old do you think the youngest person ever to compete in it was?
Get this, 17 years and 166 days. Just let that sink in for a second. In a lot of places, you're not even legally allowed to drive a regular car on the road at that age. And yet, here he was, about to get behind the wheel of one of the fastest, most complex machines ever built. And that driver? Yeah, that was Max Verstappen.
So, you gotta ask, how is that even possible? It's a record that feels completely insane. And you know what? Thanks to rule changes that were made because of him, it's a record that will almost certainly never, ever be broken. So let's dig into how this teenager just completely shattered all the rules to get there.
You know, almost every great driver's story kicks off in the exact same place, a go-kart. But for Max, this wasn't just, the beginning. It was where he built the entire foundation for his career. This is where he started building that reputation as a true prodigy, way before he ever even touched a proper single-seater race car.
And look, when I say he built a reputation, I don't mean he just won a few races. No way. He absolutely, utterly dominated the world karting scene. This is where he set the tone for his whole career, this pattern of just crushing the competition. It really became his signature. So, with that foundation firmly in place, he makes the leap to actual cars. And what happened next? Wow. It was a debut so impactful, so seismic, that it sent shockwaves through the entire motorsport world. And the craziest part? It all went down in one single, unforgettable season.
Okay, so the year is 2014. Now most drivers, they spend years, and I mean years, grinding their way up the junior formula ladder. Not Max. He jumped straight into the deep end, the super competitive European Formula 3 championship. He had one shot, one season in a single-seater to prove he was the real deal.
And did he prove it? Oh yeah. In that one rookie season, going up against drivers with way more experience, he pulls off, get this, 10 victories. Just to give you some perspective, right? If a rookie wins one, maybe two races, that's considered a huge success. 10? That's practically unheard of.
But here's the number that really made everyone in the F1 paddock just stop and go, whoa. He didn't just win those 10 races spread out over the season. He went on an insane, record-breaking streak, winning 6 races in a row. That kind of dominance, well, that forces the big teams to sit up and pay very close attention. And just like that, the verdict was in. After that one single, explosive season, pretty much everyone in motorsport agreed Max Verstappen was, without a shadow of a doubt, the undeniable talent of his generation. So the question completely changed. It wasn't if he was going to get to F1 anymore. It was how soon. And the answer to how soon? Well, that's what makes this whole story so legendary. Because look, it wasn't just the wins that were so shocking, it was the path he took to get there. He made a leap that was completely unprecedented, skipping steps that, for basically everyone else, are considered absolutely mandatory. Okay, so to really appreciate how wild this next part is, you've got to understand the normal path, right? The traditional F1 ladder. You start in karting, you move up to a junior series like F4, then you do Formula 3, and then, and this is the big one, you go to Formula 2. That's the final proving ground, the last step before F1. It's a brutal, multi-year grind.
All right, now look at Verstappen's ladder. The most telling thing here is what's missing, isn't it? You've got karting, then one season of Formula 3, and then, boom, straight into Formula 1. He just completely leapfrogged the final, most critical steps of the whole process. He jumped straight from F3 to F1. I mean, nobody did that. It was just unheard of.
So let's be super clear about what he skipped over. He never raced in Formula 2, or what used to be called GP2, which, is the series specifically designed to be the final exam for F1. He skipped GP3. He skipped out on years of crucial experience that pretty much every other driver on the grid had spent their entire lives trying to get.
So this move, it didn't just break the mold, it absolutely shattered it. It was just an incredible display of pure audacity, not just from Max, but from the team that was backing him.
and it was a move that would actually end up changing the rules of Formula One forever.
And the team that made this historic, massive gamble, that was Scuderia Toro Rosso, which is, of course, the Red Bull Junior team. They saw this undeniable talent and basically said, you know what? The normal way is just too slow for this guy. So they fast-tracked him straight to the very top.
And really, that phrase just sums up his whole journey perfectly, doesn't it? It was a career defined by two things: incredible, unprecedented speed on the racetrack, and just pure audacity in how he got there. It was a combination the sport had literally never seen before.
So that leaves us with a really interesting question, right? After seeing a 17-year-old just leapfrog the entire system and succeed, did his incredible rise to the top change the blueprint for all racing prodigies forever? Or was this just a once-in-a-generation lightning strike, the kind of thing we'll simply never see happen again?